I've had some people ask about this book. The Richard Williams book, The Animator's Survival Kit. I think this came out back in 1999 or 2000, somewhere around there. And it is so good. It's an excellent book. That's from a commercial that Richard Williams did animating Frank Frazetta's painting. So he goes through his career, and we see him here with Chuck Jones as master animator Ken Harris. Here we see some production animation drawings from main titles he did for a movie back in the 60s called The Charge of the Light Brigade. And if you get a chance to see the movie, keep an eye out for the titles, and then there were 4 interstitials of animation, I believe, 3 or 4, of this exquisite drawing style from the 1800s. It's just so impressive. Here they are in the studio. I guess this is in London. And that's Richard Williams. And, well, let's start here. Ken Harris, Grim Natwick, Art Babbitt, Richard Purdom, and Richard Williams. Here's drawings that Richard Williams did of Milt Kahl, Disney's master animator. And there's Milt and Frank Thomas and Richard Williams. I guess Richard Williams did a drawing of himself here talking to Art Babbitt, another master animator from Disney. And there's a drawing from Charge of the Light Brigade. Can you imagine animating something like this? And all these lines have to follow through. And I think some of it was done with 2 or 3 frame dissolves in between each drawing. So he goes through what animation's all about and what it means to make drawings move. Tilting the page up so it doesn't get so much glare on it. Kinescopes there. Zoetrope, I mean. Illustration of Gertie the Dinosaur. Early animated film by Winsor McKay, the father of animation, really. And then some Disney highlights of animation. Steamboat Willie, Skeleton Dance, Flowers and Trees, first cartoon in Technicolor. 3 Little Pigs, and Snow White. First animated feature. Still dazzling today to see that. So what this book does is it teaches you the basics of animation. Learn to draw first, and then you can animate a lot easier. Here's his explanation of timing charts and spacing charts. Lessons about how to figure out your timing. This page here with the swinging pendulum is a good lesson in that it teaches you about arcs. Somebody that's new to animation might in between this just straight across like that, which is wrong. It has to swing. It goes back and forth. It has to swing in an arc. So there's lots of basic lessons like that in here. Lots of lessons on timing, spacing, how to get it right, how to make it look right. So highly recommended. A man walks into a scene, stops to pick something up, stands up. Man walks into a scene, stops to pick something up. Same motion, but slightly different set of breakdowns, and you see a lot of more in-betweening in there. And now here, I guess this is fully in-betweened, and you can see there's a ton of drawings in here. So when you get this book, make sure you actually read it, go through it. There's something about the sheets, which we've had lessons on that, how to in between a head turning from looking from the left side to the right side. This is how to do it the wrong way. Bouncing ball. This is right from the Preston Blair book. Boing. We saw those both in Preston Blair. We saw this in the Preston Blair book. So there's a lot of explanation about stuff in Preston Blair's book, plus more stuff. And as you see, he teaches with basic stick figures. They're not totally stick figures, but they are like stick figures here. There's a little bit of drawing a solid character, showing you the ups and downs of drawing. And here's the stick figure walking to camera, walking in profile, different types of walks. Most of the book is about walking, because with a walk, you define a character. You actually get inside the character and tell the audience what this character is like through his walk cycle. That's why all this book is about walks. That's why it's so important to do walks and learn how to do them, because it will define your character and tell the audience who your character really is. Now, the other way to do that is just to have the character blithering on screen, talking and talking, but a better way is to show it with a walk. So when you get this book, you'll see that it's mostly about walk cycles. Then he gets into things like dialogue and head moves, hand moves for acting, little subtleties in acting. Once again, if you can get this book, new or used, get it. I got it, plus I got the app on my iPad, so at any time I could use my iPad to go through the book. The app is more expensive than most apps. It's now $5. So be ready for that little shock. But it is an excellent book. I never got to meet Richard Williams, but I've always admired his work. There's a lot of stuff here from his commercials that he's done over the years in his studio in London. So this was the first thing I saw that really impressed me by Richard Williams back in the 80s. I saw this on TV. And I know I had seen it in the 70s, but seeing it again in the 80s when I was in the animation business, I was totally impressed by it. And this is A Christmas Carol, which got an Oscar. The drawing is just exquisite drawings. That's Scrooge. That's the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. And he had these great animators working on it. So, like I said, if you can get this book, by all means get it. And until next time, keep drawing and keep animating.